So the hairstyle I have on today is how I sleep at night, because my hair is the opposite of what these guys do at night. When I'm like out at the club, my hair goes completely flat. My hair is like very little. So I learned, took me, I don't know, probably 40 years, that if I put my hair on top of my head at night, like A, it's like not all over the place. And then B, like I wake up and I have some volume.
Bring it on!
Welcome to Girls Gone Gritty. I'm Farley Boyle.
I'm Darian Boyle.
And I'm Jennifer Brenius.
Collectively, we're two sister-in-laws with our bestie.
We don't just talk, we do it. Day, night, mountain, beach, and city.
Get ready as we bring gratitude and attitude to everything we do.
We jump in head first, unafraid, and we're all in all the time.
We bring it on and get it on each week, diving deep into authentic, unscripted conversations
on just about everything. So,
let's get gritty.
Bring it on! Bring it on! Don't wait until tomorrow.
Are we ready, girls? Woo!
Ready as we'll ever be.
We're ready. Okay. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the set of Girls Gone Gritty here at Bring It On Studios out of Rumson, New Jersey. I'm here with my girls, and I look forward to this every single week on Thursdays. We come and we talk and reminisce about the week, and I just love it. And I was thinking the other day, thinking about how hard it is when you're dating a guy or a girl, and you love them. You have this relationship with them, and you look forward to seeing them, and you just feel good about yourself when you're with them. You walk out and you're like, you want to be your best. And how hard is it when you have to break up? And I'm not talking about a boyfriend or a girlfriend. I'm talking about how hard is it to break up with your stylist? I mean, here you are. You have a relationship with this person who you trust. You give them your heart, your soul. You go in there and you're like, make me beautiful, make me feel gorgeous. And you do for a while. You're like, they're doing the most incredible job. And then one day you're like, I'm not into it anymore. They kind of jacked up my hair. I don't like what they did. And it's really hard to break up with your stylist. And I'm not talking hair. I'm talking all beauty products. What do you ladies think? Because I swear I have been jumping around to different hairdressers.
You mean hoeing around?
Yeah, I've been a stylist, hairdresser, trying to find my right people.
Listen, it's a fortune, and you want to feel comfortable with the person that is doing your hair or your eyebrows or your mani-pedi, and you want to have a relationship with them because they're humans, right? So if you're seeing somebody regularly, you want to have conversation, and it becomes a little more intimate, but not without a cost.
There's always a cost. There's always a cost involved with anything. Well, my hair is really hard to do. First of all, it's like Rapunzel right now. It's so long, I could throw it out the window and have someone climb up to the second floor. But blondes are really hard to do. I mean, here we have 3 blondes, and we're real blondes for sure. But just to get like the highlights, it's hard to do.
It takes, let's just talk about the time and
Hours.
It takes forever. Like I like, you have to block your entire day to your salon or your person. And I have to be honest, like during COVID, I actually really liked, I had somebody who came to my house.
That was the
was
V3.
amazing. And we did it a couple of times together.
Yeah.
And it was so enjoyable, and it was so nice. And it really was something that I truly miss, because I have to be honest, like, and first, as human beings, they're all wonderful people. But as far as an experience is concerned, there's times I'm going and I'm like, you know what? What the hell am I doing here for 4.5 hours? And like,
It's a time suck.
It's data suck.
Mm-hmm.
And the energy, I have to be honest, still hasn't come back. I'm like, it's so siloed when you sit there in your chair. Like, everybody's relegated, and you're like, maybe you're reading a book. I get it. Like, that's all good. But it's like, the energy is not, it should be more fun.
Who wants to sit there for 4 hours? So I went to, like I said, I've been trying all these new people, because during COVID, we had someone come to our house, and she came before, and then COVID, she came all like every 3 weeks, every month. And we'd sit outside and we'd chat, and it's crazy. And then after, I mean, for a couple of years, she came to our house, and then all of a sudden just fell off a cliff and she disappeared. I'm like, where'd she go? No response back. I'm like, now I have to go farm out like hairdressers. So I ended up going to the place in Rumson, or is it in Rumson?
Lampson
Red
Woods,
Bank?
Red Bank. And I kid you not, I was losing my marbles. I had just had my knee replaced like 2 weeks beforehand. So sitting there, I didn't know it took 4 hours. I wanted to jump out the window, and I can't sit still. So I'm like, he's saying like, people really sit here for 4 hours? Shoot me.
I'll tell you what,
I hate it.
these high-end studios, they need to all like invest in the Dyson, because when you're getting a blowout, which also is another crazy topic, because you would think that if you're going to go get your hair cut and colored, that you would automatically walk out with a blowout.
And why wouldn't they want to have you walk out with
You're
a blowout?
the calling
It's-
card.
It's marketing.
It
Like
is.
you walk out with fantastic. I mean, I used to walk out with fantastic hair.
Yeah.
And actually, I have to be honest. It's not even the money anymore of the blowout. It's actually the extra 45 minutes. You know, like I've already been sitting there for 4 hours. I'm like, I don't really want to be sitting here anymore.
Your hair looked
I
so
know.
good last week, though, by the way.
Oh, thanks.
I mean, I just bought a surfboard, though, for that amount of money.
I try to like,
insanity.
But it looked good.
after
It
I
looked
get
nice.
my hair done, I try to like not wash it, even though I'm the kind of person that needs to wash my hair every day because I feel like my head is greasy. But after I get it done and I spend all this money and it looks good for the first, 72 hours, I try not to wash it. And then I can never replicate it. It
No.
looks the same again.
Never.
Even though the Dyson, I will say, there's a lot of people that get their hair blown out religiously. And I've never been that person. I should have been, because all of a sudden with kids, my hair became curly and textured. And now I just have frizz head and my hair grows like the lion queen over here. Our hair, like we knew it was
It's
a
so
successful
long.
night if we went out and it was like very warm in the club and we were dancing and sweating, if our hair like became fro.
It basically, I'd be like,
Just-
Farley, it looks like I brushed my hair with a firecracker, because it would be like this big. Oh, like this story. So we're in Bali. I go to Bali, and I'm there for 7 weeks with a bunch of my girlfriends, 7 of us. And we go surf and we're partying and island hopping. And all of a sudden my agent calls. God, call me. Hey, what's up? She goes, you just booked the Danskin catalog. You have to come home. It shoots in like 4 days. And I looked at my friend. She looks at me. I look at my friend, and she goes, did you see your hair and your whole situation? I brushed my hair with a firecracker because it was like blonde and just salty, and I was just so wrong for the Danskin catalog at that specific moment. And I'm like, I'm so sorry, I have to turn it down. And then a swell came in. It was like the best next 3 weeks. But
It requires a lot of
It-
maintenance. That's our point. Like being well groomed and feeling like you're at the top of your game does not come without, a bankroll, and B, like a lot of time and coordinating your schedule. So a lot of people that I know, I am not somebody that regularly gets a manicure and a pedicure. I do it when it fits into my life, where I look down and I'm like, oh my, I have terrible like
I need
7-Eleven.
professional help.
I
That's
need
pretty
help.
much what.
But people religiously, get waxed. They religiously get their eyebrows tinted, or what's the new thing where it like really
they thread it.
threading.
You thread it.
That's a big thing. People get their eyelashes, like separated and dyed, where
Or put on the
Yeah.
new eye. Like,
Fake eyelashes are huge. They look amazing.
they've become like
They look
much
amazing.
more socially acceptable in like daylight now. People wear them all the time.
Yeah, because they
It's,
look good.
like wild. And then let's talk about facials and products and hair. And then some people don't want to have curly hair, so then they get the keratin treatment, which is a fortune, and it takes a lot of time, and you can't wash your hair for 24 hours afterwards. And then tans. Some people go and get self-tanned or
Spray tans. That's
spray
me.
tans.
I'm a spray tan girl.
It is an industry, and it's a big one. And
it's
Bunny,
a
bunny,
big one.
and
bunny.
it's not because we are so like consumed with ourselves. It's just things change on women much worse and more rapidly than men.
Yeah, but I have to say, I don't want to say I agree with that, but I understand your point. Haha. But the kids, I mean, listen, you would think
Oh, I forgot
That-
Botox.
that we are of the
Filler.
age
Funny.
that is when the clock starts. I'm like, the 20-year-olds are they're way ahead of what
They're
what I.
plumping their lips now. Dee Dee has a product regimen.
My 9-year-old has a product regimen. Took me to Sephora. Said, we're going back to school shopping. All right, we're going to hit Zara, Athleta, Lululemon. And we need to go to Ulta too because they have this one brand, but then we have to go to Sephora to get the other kind because it's the only place that has it. I was like, wait, I spent more at the cosmetic stores than I did on the clothes.
I mean, never did my kids for 1 nanosecond. You know what they were into? They were into like Bath and Body Works, like lotions and smells and hand sanitizer that smelled good.
They still are. They go on a regular basis. Hey, Dad, can I have your credit card? They walk through the little path and they go to Starbucks and they come back with like 15 hand sanitizers. I said, how clean are your hands?
That's another thing that I am so down, like so anti. I cannot stand that we all spend so much money on coffee when you can make a damn good cup of coffee on your own. And I think that like the Starbucks and all these other, I mean, I make coffee for them every single Thursday that they come.
True,
And I am like a barista in my own right. Like, I just don't think my child needs to spend, let's call it $10,000 a year, whatever the actual number is. Like,
Yikes! Do you really think that's the number?
Think about it, $8 for a
I don't know
latte.
what the number is, but like
Holy
it's a big
moly.
number. Think about our whole
Yeah,
family.
you're right. It's a big
Going
number.
to Rook, going to Starbucks. I mean, like daily. And I feel like my kids come home and it's a sandbag. They drink 5 sips of it and they're not drinking it, but they've got it in their hand. Or the Rook habit has their name on it.
It's
But-
called marketing
The only
and
thing that bums me out about Rook when you go to buy the bag of coffee, they only give you 10 ounces. It really bugs me. It's like a small bag. I hate it.
I didn't even drink coffee until I was an adult, like out of college. And I don't even, like, I never even thought about having a coffee in high school or
It
in.
wasn't a thing when we were young.
but most things weren't a thing when we were young. It's
Right.
called capitalism. It's called marketing and branding because everybody's going to slap a label on it. Everybody's going to have a new product that they're going to sell. And as soon as I do, I now create a flurry of interest over it. Like now I create a trend and then somebody else hops on board to sell another trend. And that's what all this beauty stuff is too. I mean, and the problem is that once you start, like it's really hard to get off the train. Like it's really hard once you start to get manicures and pedicures, which we recognize as a first world problem of maintenance. Same thing with getting your hair done. Like, but once you start doing it, as soon as you start doing it, you feel like you're not taking care of yourself like you should be.
As soon
And
as you stop,
when you see
your
that-
roots are screaming at
see
you.
that, you're-
Your toenails look like cave women.
I went last night and I had the single process, which I found. I literally went back to my old hairdresser from 10 years ago. I mean, I literally have been farming out hairdressers. One lady turned my hair purple. Another one turned it like a light orange. Then I went to another place. I'm not doing a lot of TV and modeling now, so I'm like, whatever, it's summer, throw it in a ponytail. But remember, we had a guy, Jerome, was the only person who had cut my hair, and his girlfriend would color it at Pierre Michel. We would get free haircuts. And I went to him for 20 years in New York City.
I got his name from Wilhelmina, and it was like one of the only perks of the job back then is Kiehl's. We would get a discount at the Kiehl's store, and Jerome was working directly with like our board and would take on people and charge us like a very normal amount.
You'd tip him. You're like,
Yeah.
here's $30 for hair.
But, you know, he was smart because he was growing, and he was very talented, but he was also growing his book, and he was getting editorial and tear and, you know, like advertising images. Like I did the Pantene hair box, and I had perfect color from Georges Ramos at Frederick Fekkai and a perfect cut because of Jerome. And then I went and did the Pantene commercial, and the L'Oreal products that they used on my hair didn't have shelf life. And as soon as they technically, even though your hair looks amazing and perfect, they really have to use the products on your hair before you can do a box, or it's illegal.
oh wow,
And
wait, I love that.
yes, and so they actually screwed up my color,
Oh,
and all of a sudden my scalp was seeping, like it was sticky and matted the next day. And L'Oreal gave me, I've never followed them up on this because I was never going to do boxed hair products, you know, like to color my hair ever again at that point, a lifetime supply, because it burnt my scalp because it didn't have the shelf life. Who knows what happened? And my hair broke off all over my head, and I had terrible hair and had to kind of nurse back my hair into a healthy place because of that job.
oh my God, that's terrible.
And another time I was shooting an editorial, and it was back when like eyebrows were so defined. So I was at an editorial shoot, and I'm not editorial, I'm all American, but I had to prove to everybody that I could shoot this to get like Eddie Bauer or Land's End or something like that. So they shaved my eyebrow from the middle of my pupil, which is the highest point of your arch, all the way to the right, and drew it in. And I have no eyebrows to the right of my arch, if you guys can notice. It's like a problem. And now that I actually go and try to get my eyebrows done professionally so that maybe they'll grow back, they say once you shave them, you're screwed.
No.
Oh yeah. They don't
'Cause
grow back.
Don't people do that as a prank in college? I feel like guys
do.
right?
Guys don't care about their brows. That's the
Oh, a lot of
So-
boys get old.
I don't think that's it.
Not my brothers, obviously.
Well, mine never ever grew back in here. And I used to have like Brooke Shields like bushes. I used to have caterpillar brows. And then all of a sudden, they became so manicured that they don't. So do not let anybody ever over pluck, tweeze, shave your brows because they do not come back.
That's like when people are shaving their faces right now.
But why is it the fact that where you take hair away it won't grow back, and other places you can't get rid of it fast enough and it just keeps coming? I mean, God, could you please explain that to me? Because I'd really like to know.
Hair dye.
What I don't want and it keeps coming.
You
And
forgot about laser.
Oh,
Which is another thing.
But-
Laser and waxing. Which one do you do? Like, really? I lasered because I thought it was never going to come back. It's back.
yeah.
It's back.
Well,
I did laser 15 sessions.
I
in
think
that.
it's one of those things that depends because I've had, and I think I've said this to you before, maybe even a previous episode. I wish I always did laser because I feel like I have good skin for it because I'm like a light dark person with like dark hair. So too much information. Sorry.
hey now.
But I think for some people it works unbelievably because I have had friends in the yoga world that had done their underarms, which I would highly recommend, and their lower leg. I would highly recommend that too, and it never came back.
Wow.
The pubic area I think is a little bit more complicated.
Torture.
And that's where the wax, your friend who knows everything about you is your bikini waxer.
Yes.
Wow. Like,
Including how limber you are or aren't. And what your pain tolerance
So
level.
my friend in California, one of my besties who, if she is actually listening, who just visited me, would laugh. So I'm like, oh, Sam, you gotta go. It's so easy. And it was in La Jolla when we were living there. And we had just eaten in my favorite restaurant, Rimal's. And I'm like, it's just across the way. Oh, you gotta go. And said, it's great experience. She'd never done it. She comes back. I don't know. I was sitting at the bar. She's like, the fuck is wrong with you? Oh, it was like this Russian lady who, the Russian ladies, they just throw your body around, feel your this and that. And she goes, she had me on my hands and knees. I was like, do you feel good? She's like, what's wrong with you?
violated.
Tequila shots. And I still to this day think it's the funniest thing in the whole entire world. Because if you don't know what to expect, you're like,
I mean, I hope you men appreciate what we do for you guys. It's nuts. I mean, we do some things for ourselves because we would much rather see like a well manicured woman, but we do a lot for you guys. I don't see you going through pain for us.
Well, I also think we do it for each other. Let's be honest.
I like to dress up and go out with you guys.
half the stuff you wore, you'd have just like, a hair diaper out there like in the wind. Wow. Thank you, Brennan.
Oh my God, is that what he called it? That is so good. Well, back to you hoeing all around Monmouth County for your hair. I mean, we want to know, is the new rate, is the new norm like $480?
Is it a car payment? Because that's what it feels like.
I mean, I really do. I understand in New York City, it used to be like that because you're getting an experience. You're going to a salon that has somebody that is very, very highly trained, has worked under probably a Tricomi or a Fakai or somebody. So you're paying for a name.
And it's an experience. It doesn't feel like utility.
You used to be able to get your hair.
When you were like, somebody to get my hair done, and they blew it out, and you drank.
Sometimes they even bring you champagne.
I was going to say, you drank delicious cappuccinos. I have another one with that froth and little nice little cookie and the stir that had the rock candy. That was the
little
sugar.
And it's a scene. You're enjoying
And
what's
then you
going on around you. So.
And you leave and you go up the road and you have delicious sushi and you go out because you feel great.
I would go out every single time I got my hair done in the city because I was like, this right here is going out.
Here, I'm like,
totally.
Can I go now? I'm going to go home and wash it. I'm going to wash my hair and then put it in a ponytail and jump in the ocean because we go 100 miles an hour. But you were just in Vegas and you had a blowout and that was...
Wow. I mean, I didn't even ask, but it was for a wedding. And the ladies that I was with, they were getting, manicures, pedicures, facials, back massages, and I do believe I was
Oxygen facial. Did you say
yes,
do
I was probably the most low maintenance human because on the wedding day, I was like, ooh, I'm going to treat myself. I'm going to get my hair blown out. And I brought my Dyson to Vegas. And people think that I get my hair blown out and done all the time because I can do my own hair with this.
Another potential sponsor, Dyson.
Yes.
Oh, we love Dyson.
I think I've sold
Love
1,000
Yep.
Dysons.
My whole family is a Dyson family because of Farley's.
And Shark.
And
You know,
Shark.
I'll throw out a Shark because we'd like you as a sponsor
Oh,
too.
yeah.
The Shark is efficient for big, thick hair.
I have
Oh,
a
that
shark.
means Shark might be coming in on it. It gave us a thumbs up.
No, I have a shark. I have a
I have a
custom
Shark.
vacuum
I'm sorry.
Well, the Dyson definitely is something that will save people that are addicted to blowouts, you know, that money, unless you just really don't want to do it yourself. I did not want to do it myself in Vegas because I didn't want to look like myself. I feel like every time I do me, I look like me. And that's not a terrible thing. But if you want to kind of like add a little drama or like, you know, I was going to a very upscale, high end function. I wanted to have like a higher end looking face.
And you looked gorgeous.
And I paid for it.
Yeah.
$480 to get a blowout and my makeup done. At the same time, I was in the chair for an hour.
At least that's quick.
I mean, it was quick, but $480
Yeah.
an hour. I mean, I'm in the wrong business.
And at the end of the night, did you blow your hair brush it with a firecracker?
The very first thing that happened to me, and I knew, I was like, oh boy, this is interesting. I got my makeup done in daylight, and the studio, like the salon, was very bright, and I was like, whoa, I'm sitting next to a supermodel, like a legit supermodel that didn't have anything on her face. And I was like looking at her thinking, why would she ever even put anything on her face, right? As they're plastering stuff on mine to make me look younger. And I had said, like, I want the natural look, but like the natural look almost requires more makeup than like the non-natural
What
look.
did Patrick say? My brother.
So I waltzed into our hotel room, you know, to get dressed, and he looked at me out of the corner of his eye. Like he couldn't even look me in the face. He like was like looking at me like I had a disease. And he was like, oh my God. He goes, what is that? And I go, well, I have false lashes on, honey. And he's like, ugh. And he was like, and like, what's up with the cake face? And I said, this is like natural light right now. We're going into an environment that is late night and dark. Trust me, I'm going to look really good there. And he was like, oof, yeesh.
Thanks, Pat.
And I put on my dress and I was like, see, doesn't it look better? He couldn't even look me in the face because he's so used to me not wearing like any of that. But I'll tell you what, the picture at the end of the night, because they had a photo booth, it is
You look gorgeous.
a great photo. So in the element of night, it looked great.
But
But
listen, you guys are both models, and you recognize that light and
Everything.
makeup and all that is
Yeah.
like critically important, and you got to know your environment. And they did, and Pat's a jeans and t-shirt kind of guy now. You know,
he could not even look me in the face. I'm like, you can't even look at me. Like, why aren't you looking at me? And he was like, yee. Like that. He was just egging me on.
So, well, you never know the back end. I mean, people laugh because everywhere I've traveled, no matter what, ski season, I've gone all over the world, and I always have curlers with me, hot rollers, literally taking it back. My friend Sonia, her and I think, are the only two that still actually hot roll our hair, because I will go home from our beach club in the summer, and I will shower there at the outdoor shower, and I'll stick my head out so it dries, and then I go home and put curlers in. I mean, these curlers have duct tape all over them my whole life. I always had them.
I know.
And one day someone goes, wait, that's how you do your hair? I'm like, yeah, I'm too impatient. And so you never know the backside. So you
there's
look like
so many.
this glam girl.
So good. Well, it's like, so the hairstyle I have on today is how I sleep at night, because my hair is the opposite of what these guys do at night. When I'm like out at the club, my hair goes completely flat. My hair is like very little. So I learned, took me, I don't know, probably 40 years, that if I put my hair on top of my head at night, like A, it's like not all over the place, and then B, like I wake up and I have some volume. And
So are you telling us that you haven't even touched your hair since you walked out of your bedroom today?
so
I don't want to try
So
that.
I did take it down at one point because it got like a little bit funky in the back, but for the most part, pretty much new.
I like wearing my hair like that too.
I used to sleep in socks.
Oh, so did
So my mom always
My mom did that.
curl it. My mom would say, here's some socks. So I would, before like a job back in the day, and I'd wake up with socks in my hair. I tried to do it to Didi one day. She goes, Mom, they have like these long bendable.
Do people get perms anymore?
Oh my, perms?
Are there?
Yes,
such a
people.
thing as-
I would think so.
I remember I used to always get perms.
I love my
so
perm.
Tyler, my cousin, always had wavy hair, and I had straight hair, so I always wanted wavy
always
hair.
want
I
what you
wanted
don't have.
And literally, I always got perms. But the one time, perm went south, and I had to cut. I had long hair, like really long, and I had to cut it to my shoulder. And it was right before a big job because they fried it. They left it on too long. Then I never got a perm again. And I was getting headshots that day. My headshots were so bad because it was like my hair ended up having to cut probably a good 6 inches off.
Oh my God. Wait, so all right. So when you have a bad situation with one of your hairdressers or one of your stylists or somebody, like do you ghost them? Do you break up with them? Do you tell them? Like how do we handle? Like, I mean, for me, I just probably I quietly like kind of disappear.
Depends on how bad. It depends on if are they willing to like correct the problem if you have like a color problem, or if they've cut your hair and you can't grow it back. That's a real problem. I don't know that I would go back to somebody that gave me a terrible hair. I do think if somebody, if the color came out a little brassy, or I, didn't have the coverage that I wanted around my hairline or something, I would say to them, look, I still see what I see. And if they were willing to reschedule an appointment to try to make it work on their dime instead of mine, since I just paid a lot and spent a lot of my time, then I would give them a second chance.
They still charge you. I got charged. Someone turned my hair purple, and I was like, it's purple. Can you see? And it's kind of brown because they didn't do the formula right because my hair is hard to do. And I tip, you tip everyone. Come back. So I came back 2 days later. They charged me the same price and wanted me to tip out everyone.
Color correction.
Yeah, the color correction
fee.
Let me
that
back
happened
for the
too.
same thing that I never went back to him.
I left one of my stylists because of that. I was like,
Yeah.
I hated my color. I was like basically crying for 2 days. Like me, not like, but yeah, kind of crying.
Yeah.
And I was like, you need to fix this. This is making me like, I look terrible. Like it makes your eyes look sullen. It can affect everything. Your hair color is so.
I've had every
critical.
color too because of the business. I've been a brunette where I needed a full face of makeup because I looked like a plain Jane. I've been red. I kind of like the red, the kind of like chestnutty red in the fall. I've done a lot with my hair, which is probably why my texture has changed.
Now, would you go to the same salon to a different person, a different stylist
No, that would
in the
be
salon?
awkward.
Oh, that's terrible.
I did that once. And that person screwed up my hair too. I'm like, that I just say, oh, I'm moving to Vermont. And then the time lapses and you come back.
Yes, and sometimes just because you're going to a designer brand, salon, doesn't mean that you're going to have like a perfect outcome, because look at like the designer doctors that we've talked about, at HSS or whatever that had still botched things. I mean, no one's perfect. There's always room for human error. But when you're spending a lot and you're taking a time commitment to really, walk away happy and you're not,
Right.
That's a problem.
My last two hair colors ago, one lady's doing it, and the second time I went with her, and every time she flicked the dial over me, and then it's fine. She does it, and then you don't see her again. She's like, well, she's going to wash you, and then here's some product, here's a brush, and here's a blow dryer. I'm like, really? Just give me that material, and I'll slap it all on my hair.
I can do that. Thank you.
A glaze.
Well, which is why the boxes, came to be, because like if you don't feel like you're getting that like intimacy, and it's funny.
Yeah.
I had looked this up. I forget a while ago and why I did, but we were talking about like the importance of like the actual process that gets lost, and that's what I would say to all, like if we have like the stylists out there, remember that this became like, a lot of people treat their stylists as like their therapists or like their best friends, and like they share a lot of information. So you have like an intimate relationship with that person. But there's also like a lot of data and research that shows that like the way that like you see the monkeys picking, it's called allo grooming, and it's an intimacy builder that you want.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's really why people are going to get their services, especially the hair. Like, especially like you're making somebody look pretty. And I mean, I remember the first time I went to get my hair cut when I, cut and styled and permed, And when I was in 6th grade, and it was a big deal. And I remember coming into school the next day and everybody like, oh my God, your hair looks amazing.
A treat.
And it's like, it was an amazing situation that I do feel like that a little bit of that has gotten lost in like the utility of just feeling like you're just another number and they're just churning you through. And they kind of are like, yeah, your color's probably good, but you blow it out on your own, because if we're going to do that, we're going to charge you again and you're going to be here for another hour. Like, that should change. And I do think that the stylist should take a little bit more pride in their product of person and not just product of product.
Like getting waited on at a restaurant. You know, I'm going to tip somebody if they really like went the extra mile to, you know, go the extra mile to make sure that I'm happy. And I feel like I have a really nice relationship with my colorist, and she also cuts my hair. And I've been going to her for years, and she knows a lot about me, and I know a lot about her. And so it's a very nice relationship. I look forward to seeing her because we catch up and we have a really nice relationship, and I've always been happy with the end result. She cuts my kids' hair. She colors my kids' hair. Like, we're a family affair. But what I will say is the younger generation is doing things way before we did. I didn't get manicures and pedicures religiously as a kid. I think I did lead press on nails for the prom. I did not do these girls now are getting their lips injected and they're talking about Botox like in their early 20s as a form of maintenance so this business has become, like she said, capitalism. It's blowing up. And so I guess one of my recommendations to anybody that's listening that has daughters, don't start them off too early.
No, don't start.
I agree. Like, maybe, with the lasering of the armpits and like the bikini line, maybe I would have done that earlier with my girls. But at the same point in time, we're setting them up for like such a ridiculous standard of just beauty, me. And it's, then the products that you're like doing and all this maintenance becomes like a full-time job. So put it off as long as you can and try to still be natural.
Natural
beauty is like a gift. And, everybody has something beautiful about them. So just try to like self-love a little bit without having to pay for other people to love you that are doing services.
Well,
and eat well and hydrate
and
exercise. Exercise and like surround yourself by like amazing people and
stop looking at TikTok and Instagram and
because it's all fake.
Looking at this surreal beauty,
right?
Because it's unrealistic, and that's what is causing this crazy problem, which is like a supplemental income that we all have to pay to like try to maintain.
What about the face? What about the lip face that is all over TikTok with the lips? And it's like they're all over.
Well, I'll let you guys know how my hair stylist goes. On Tuesday, getting cut and highlights. Had the single process last night. Trying my new girl. That's my old girl. So I'll let you know.
You broke it into two different. You broke it into two different meetings.
You went back. You broke up.
Yeah, she sent me with someone else, and I was like,
"You're two timing."
So I'm two timing. She was like, "Wait, you're coming to her next week?" I'm like, "Yeah, on Tuesday. She's gonna do everything else." But thanks so much. I gotta go because I'm late. But I'll let you know how my hair goes, ladies. It was so much fun.
Oh my God! Thank you guys so much for tuning into the Girls Gone Gritty. You're beautiful just the way you are. You don't have to do too much, but if you do choose to go ahead and get engaged, go ahead and set what you decide is your limits on things, and just be part of this beautiful process of life. And we thank you so much. And
have a budget.
Thanks for
have a budget that you're not going to exceed.
God.
That could really be a helpful tip. Instead of like working really hard and then spending your hard-earned money on beauty and maintenance. Like, go do something.
Your parents down for their credit card for a beauty day and a couple really nice lattes. And we'll talk to you next week. Thanks for listening.
Bye.
Peace. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Girls Gone Gritty.
You can check us out on Instagram and Facebook.
If this episode hits home, share it with someone who needs to get gritty.
The 3 Gs. We'll see you next week.
Peace out.